Hello, and welcome back to my channel. You're watching Videsra's Creations. I am Videsra, the chief designer here. And so on my channel, I teach you how to crochet and I share pieces that I'm making. It's been a little minute, but I must say Happy New Year to you and thank you again for tuning in. On this video, I'm actually going to be showing you how I make a sweater. It's going to be a little bit different than the videos that I've done in the past because I've already taught you how to do the basic stitches, and now I'm into more so this year focusing on garment creation. My desire this year is to really produce a fashion line or a collection for 2025, and so I've decided to use up the threads that I have currently and just make some beautiful pieces. So the first piece, in the spirit of winter here, I have decided to do a sweater, and I have this beautiful green that I really wanted to use. And it was not enough to complete one entire garment, so I decided to mix it with other colors that I have. And so I decided to go ahead and mix it with white and orange, as you see. It is going to have sleeves, so I'm deciding to do the orange on the sleeves. So it's going to be a very colorful sweater, but I think it's going to be gorgeous because I just absolutely love how these colors come together. I'm going to cut away into how I'm kind of, going step by step with these pieces. So as we continue, and this will probably take me a couple of days. I started this a week ago, but I only spent one full day on it, so I got close to, I think I was at the white, and then I just started today, added the orange. Now I'm gearing up towards the top of the garment. So just to recap, I did start off with my chain stitches, and then I went into double crochet, and it's just double crochet all around. I measured the width of the garment based on how I wanted it to fit, and I just kept going around and around. By the time I was finished with the green, I added the white, and then I know I was going to be tailoring into the top half of the sweater, so I also wanted to make room for the sleeve, which, if you know anything about garment construction, it does require to have this curve so that it's not just boxy. So I then added the white, same idea, but just always going in to form that curvature. Now that I've reached to the top, after I finished the white, I added the orange. Now that I reach the top, I need to close off this area. I'm thinking that this sleeve doesn't have enough. I have 6 rows of white, 6 rows of orange, but I feel like I need to do 7 of orange just to give it enough width. It is a sweater, so it's not meant to fit really close. I don't want it to fit too close on the arm, so I'm actually going to add some more orange to it, and then before I actually close it off, and then go into the rest of the garment. So that's what I'm going to do now. I am toying with the idea of making this a turtleneck or a boat neck. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing yet, so as we go along and get creative, then I'll decide just what I want to do. Stay tuned, and let me just take you.
Okay, so now that I've added the 2 more rows to the orange, I feel like I have enough arm space so that it can be a little bit more cozy, snug fit rather than a really tight fit. So I need to close off the top and just leave the opening for the neck, right? So in order to do that, I'm gonna turn this piece on the flip side. So the interesting about crochet is that it can actually be worn on both sides, but there is a side that technically looks more like the wrong side than the right side. So it's usually, I can tell, but it doesn't make it wrong or right. So this was the right side. So I had flipped it already. So now I'm gonna flip it on the inside. And then I'm going to join the top, and I'm just stretching it like that so I have equal sides. And I'm going to start from this side now. Trying to determine how wide the opening is for the neck is going to be all dependent on how I want it. So remember, I was considering doing a boat neck, which would kind of go just across like this. So I would probably, you know, make it a wider opening versus if I was going to do just a turtleneck, then I wanted to do it closer. So I'm gonna wing it, guys. Yeah, this is what happens when you don't really have a pattern working on. You're just going by creativity. You kind of just go to what feels good. So this is how I close it. I match the 2 end pieces. I get my thread and my needle, and I'm putting the needle inside the very last loop of these 2 end pieces, and I'm pulling up the thread and making my first chain, and then I'm going to pull up from both loops on top and then pull another thread. So I'm just pulling on top here, pulling the thread through, and that's how we just close it off. And we are going to, let's count how many we're doing. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and they're even, okay? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and I think I'm actually gonna do 15. Let's just do 15 and see what that looks like. And when I get to 15, then all I'm going to do is do 1 more chain stitch just to reinforce that closure. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're just gonna flip her around like so. Get the 2 end pieces, the thread, and we're gonna do the same thing that we did on the other side, putting it into the last 2 loops there, crossing the thread over like so, and pulling it through. And sometimes that happens. Let's do it again. Sometimes it just slips out because the thread is pretty slippery. So when it slips out, you just need to grab it again and go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and we're making a stop right here so that we're even on both sides, reinforcing that with a chain, cutting it there. and then that would be it. So if we flip it on the other side again, now we'll have a completed vest. And if you wanted to stop here and make this just a vest, by all means you can, but we are going to commit to adding sleeves, so let's get into making the sleeves. Now when I'm making the sleeves, because this is a multicolored garment, I don't want to just start making the sleeve. I have to make, it's going to be orange sleeves, so I have to make it at least uniform. So what I'm going to do is do chain stitches all around here, so that when I add the sleeve, it doesn't look like it's jumping off of different colors. So let us line the around the circumference of the sleeve opening so that we can continue. Alright, so we are going to start from the bottom. I usually like to start on the bottom just so, and we're not going to do it tight. We want to do it as loose because I don't want the arm to be constricted. So we're just going to do some single chains all around, and we're going into every opening. What do I mean? Now with every crochet, you can always see like the different slots, right? You don't want to skip a slot, because when you skip a slot, you can tell by the garment that it's not done properly. It looks jagged, so you want it to look as even as possible, as uniform as possible, so you're going into every slot and not skipping any in between. So that's all I'm doing, going right around before I actually add the sleeves. If they were the same color, it wouldn't really matter as much, but especially when it's not the same color, you want to be as precise as possible. So there we have the lining. I'm just going to continue doing this on both sides, and then I'll do that. You know, it's snowing outside, and I wish I could show you just how beautiful it looks. Anyways, I've completed the arms, and guys, I'm conflicted, and I feel like this is where I'm gonna end today's video because I have a question for you. Should I leave it as a vest and just wear it with a shirt inside, or should I complete it as a sweater? That is the question for you today. I'm gonna show you what it looks on as just a vest, and then you can make your vote and see, should I just keep it as a vest? Even make it longer and make it like into a knitted dress instead that I can wear with a shirt underneath. I'm having so many ideas for just one piece of garment, but I'm gonna let you be the vote. Give me a second, let me just change into just a white button-down shirt with a vest over it and some jeans, and then I'll ask what your opinion is. Should I complete the sweater? Should I give it turtlenecks? Let me have you weigh in and decide what I do with this piece.
Okay guys, so I paired the vest with a collared button-down long sleeve shirt, and this is what it's looking like, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and so now I'm conflicted as whether or not I should keep it as a vest or if I should make that sweater that I intended to do in the first place. What do y'all think? Do you like it as it is, or should I do what I said I was gonna do? Well, let me know in the comments below, and until next time, get your fears moving.